This presentation is on using Microsoft Word to edit a references section for APA format. We'll start with highlighting the entire references section, and so that we can correct to create a hanging indent for all of the margins. We'll highlight them all. Then simply come over to grab the bottom marker on the ruler bar and move it over to the 5-space mark. Now the ruler bar can be located and turned into the view on mode by going to the toolbar at the top, click on view, and then scroll down until you find the ruler. Next, you might notice there's a bit of extra space in between each of these references, more than would be there simply for double spacing. So we'll again highlight the entire section, and we'll go up to the toolbar to format, choose paragraph. Then for the spacing, we'll enter a 0 for before and after. Next, you'll notice that with URLs, if you cut and paste them from a browser, or sometimes even from another document, they will bring with them formats that will create a lot of difficulty to correct, unless, as you're pasting them, you use a right click and use Paste Special. That will give you the option to paste unformatted text. Always helpful if you want to paste and have the pasted text adopt the formatting of whatever you're pasting it into. To remove a hyperlink, if you have pasted your URLs already and all of them are showing up with blue and underline, and if you find that you want to remove them, this can be done by right-clicking. You'll see that there's an option at the end, hyperlink. If you choose that, if it is in hyperlink mode, you'll have an option here, a button that will allow you to remove it. However, if you're going to publish online, it can be helpful to leave those links for easier access. In the 5th edition, the retrieval date was requested, but typically all of these website pages or articles, unless they are in a periodical online, will have their main titles italicized. Now, instead of getting into the nitty-gritty of how to, if I'm fairly sure that there are a lot of mismatches between the citations in the text and the references in the references section, then I'll want to do my search a different way, which is quite a bit more time-consuming and laborious, but definitely thorough. I'll start from the top and simply hit every citation. What changes to make, which is fairly easy to look up. Let's take a look at a simple way to go through for a references to citation matching check. You'll see up here a little, starting with ALTIS, I find it useful to simply make 3 dashes. That makes it easy to go back when I'm finished and simply do a find and replace to get rid of all of the dashes, the 3 together dashes at one time. So having noted that that is present, we'll move on to find Talgran. Now this view mode is showing a lot of margin space, which can be a bit cumbersome if you want to see more content at the same time. So we'll come down and put the view mode into a different setting and perhaps even change the view to a lower percentage. We'll click down to find and it is not available. So to make a note to find this later, we'll simply insert it as an incomplete reference. Moving on, we use the search function and search for an end parenthesis. This also does not appear to be present. But you get the idea. That's the basic setup to make it kind of foolproof to catch every one of the possible two little blue rectangles stacked on top of each other. This, if you click it and drag it down, will allow you to split the screen. This is a very useful view for which to work on looking at the references at the same time as you check the citations. I find it helpful to do a search, use the search function and put in the search field one parenthesis, which should bring you to pretty much every citation. However, for simplicity at this point, we'll simply scroll down. Here is the first, well, one of the first, but there are two ways to go about this search, and I'm going to do the more simple, less time-consuming search. We'll actually use this search function. Hit Command F, also Control F if you're using a PC. Then this will bring up our search function. We want to find this first reference, which is listed as a numeral. Now, what we find is that the search function was unable to locate that. So we're going to have to note that as not found. Discrepancies between the citations and references. Next, we'll search for Altez, even though we know that it's right there at the beginning. Let's search. We can see that that's there, though the reference isn't formatted correctly yet. Let's search for something that has more than two authors. Here's one. This has 4 authors. Here is our first version. Now, we need a comma after the third author, otherwise this citation is in good shape. However, it may be listed more than once. Oh, and correctly, we see that the author did use et al.